Surprise, motherfucker.
What it does do, everybody, it's your boy Zenkai, and welcome back to some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And in this episode, we're playing 100 matches of online ranked. However, it should be noted, we will be playing singles. Why singles? DP battles take way too long. They're like 5 to 10 minutes, and I don't have time for that. So we will be doing singles. And our main goal of this session will be to determine whether or not in 100 matches of ranked, why 100? Totally because there's not an achievement related to playing 100 online battles or anything, and those are the last two I need. Nothing like that. I'm genuinely interested in how toxic this game is, because all I ever hear from these Sparking Zero creators that the game is dying, that ranked is god-awful, and the community is a bunch of bastards. So, now I gotta see for myself. So, how are we going to be gauging toxicity? With a nice little spreadsheet. I'm going to be taking note of a large variety of things throughout my matches and determining whether a player in a match was toxic. The main categories will be meta abuser, mechanic spammer, good/bad manners, and their final verdict of toxicity. What's a meta abuser? Anyone who uses the top 15 characters from both normal and Z rank as of October 31st, and Android 19 and 20 because they're busted. However, no one ended up playing them, so I won't even talk about them. If anyone plays Broly Z, Jiren, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, including Sign, Super Vegito, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, Gogeta Super, basically any form of Gogeta, except for Z, he's not good. Gogeta GT, Super Saiyan 4, Beerus, Hit, Goku Black, Ultimate Gohan, Kefla, Whis, and Anilaza. Any of those characters count as meta abuse. Our next category is mechanic spam, and it's broken up into a couple of things. Afterimage strike spammer, sparking mode spammer, and super/ultimate spammer. These are up to my discretion, but generally, someone who does any of these things multiple times in a row may qualify. The last main category is good/bad manners, and is essentially a tipping point for deciding toxicity. This accounts for rage quits/DCs, good clean games, bad internet, and Mr. Satan players. Mr. Satan players are playing the worst character in the game, so all of their sins are forgiven in my eyes. Good clean games are matches where no toxicity conditions were fulfilled. A player will be deemed toxic if they fulfill two of these main conditions, or their sins are too egregious to let slide. For example, a cheater playing Gohan Black getting insta-DC'd would be considered toxic regardless of anything that happened beforehand. This two-condition system is in place to prevent people that are playing their mains from being lumped in. Also, I'll be keeping track of a variety of other things that don't really have an impact on my judgments, but are interesting nonetheless. Now that you know what I'm going to be judging these games by, let's jump into the games.
Huh?
MUI Goku. His name is fucking racist. What happened? I can't see anything. You did it! You made it through the battle section, and now you're on charts and stuff, where we will be covering a variety of information using charts. Bar charts, to be exact. In fact, let's start with a bar chart. A bar chart race of all the characters that you just saw me fight against. Let's do it. Yeah, out of the 100 games, I was expecting a lot more cringe picks, but in actuality, we had a fairly healthy serving of meta characters. Now, not very many. Out of this top 15 right here, 6 of these are meta characters, being Gogeta, Hit, Beerus, Goku Super, Mastered Ultra Instinct, Ultimate Gohan, and Gogeta Super. But other than that, yeah, all these characters are not even meta. So I was very impressed with the variety in characters and singles. Let's talk about our outcomes from the games. I had a 36% win rate. I got absolutely cooked. I was not doing very good. Now, in my defense, what happened was, at the start, I was getting cooked because all those players are just starting out, and some of them are really good, and some of them are bad. Those first 7 were good. They kicked my ass. And then I started to get into a groove. And then as I slowly got closer and closer to B5, the games got harder and harder and harder. And I think that's because with the way this ELO system is designed, you actually don't lose ELO until you hit B5. You are only gaining ELO. What are you talking about? I ranked up. I've lost every fucking game. Huh? In my case, I played 100 games, and even with my low win rate, I just forced my way all the way into B5. And what I'm finding is I don't belong on the rank, and everyone is cooking me, which will naturally happen because everyone will become hard stuck B5 if all you can do is gain ELO until you hit B5, and everyone gets stuck in B5. It's really a problem with the matchmaking as well, because as you'll see later, sometimes the rank disparity can be as much as like 1.5 to 2 ranks higher than what you are. The only other thing to note is not a lot of DCs. They've added in penalties for people doing the DC strats, and it seems to have worked. People don't seem to do it anymore. Now, bad part is sometimes the DCs will penalize me as well. That Gohan Black, when he automatically DC'd, I also got a penalty, and then I had to sit in a queue for 5 minutes. I was not happy. There were nowhere near as many ultimates and supers thrown as I thought there would be. This chart right here is only for enemy ultimates. I'm not counting mine. 6 hit ultimates, 10 missed, 2 unblockables, 23 hit supers, 37 missed supers, 5 unblockables. So yeah, only 44% for both enemy ultimates and supers hit. So yeah, people more often than not were usually missing their ultimates and supers. Meta abuse, not much to see here. You can probably see from the characters, only about 1/3 of the games were actual meta abuse. And honestly, the biggest problem with meta abuse isn't really so much that the characters are good, it's that some characters just have more health bars than you. I found that a lot of the time in some of my battles, I would lose by a health bar. The other guy didn't have an extra health bar on me. I probably would have won. So it's an interesting idea to maybe, I don't know, maybe they should just make everyone have 3 health bars in singles. I think that'd maybe be a good change. Mechanic spam. Nowhere near as much mechanic spam as I thought there would be. Only 3 sparking mode spammers, 1 instant transmission spammer, 8 super/ultimate spammers. Now, it should be noted that there was only 1 person that was simultaneously a super and ultimate spammer and a sparking mode spammer. There was 22 instant sparkings used and only 2 Afterimage strikes. And interestingly, I played against 6 characters that could use Afterimage strike. I think 5 Goku GTs and 1 Super Vegito, and only 2 Afterimage strikes were used. And I think it was both of those Afterimage strikes were used by like one of the Gokus. So like basically no one was using their Afterimage strike. I was a little bit surprised that instant sparking, people really spam instant sparking, and it's kind of cheesy. I mean, I'm not that good at the game, and sparking mode is a little bit devastating. Usually if you go into sparking in a match, you're probably going to win if you don't end up fucking up completely. And the fact that these guys can kind of just go into that mode whenever they want multiple times a match is a little bit cheesy in my opinion. If someone just can sit all the way on the other side of the arena, go into instant sparking 3 times and then just wipe you out, that's kind of lame. One of the super and ultimate spammers, I didn't want to make a separate category for it like instant transmission, but I'm going to call it key spam. Some of you guys may have seen this, where people go into sparking mode, and what they do is they just spam key blasts at you and just go in a circle, and it is surprisingly effective. And it is unbelievably toxic. With how long sparking mode lasts, they will just go in a circle, spamming key blasts at you for like a minute or 2. It is so obnoxious. Luckily, I didn't have any of those. I had 1 Beerus that spammed me with key blasts, but I was pretty much dead before he could do anything. Good and bad manners. Pretty much half of the games were good, clean games. Nobody was really that toxic. It should be noted that if I didn't include meta abuse as a sin that goes against good, clean games, that statistic may be a lot higher. Then about 38% of the games were just completely neutral. There was maybe some meta abuse going on, but there wasn't a whole lot. And 6 bad internets. Oh my god. Usually the guy who has the bad internet has the advantage, because I just don't even know what's going on half the time. This guy has some of the worst internet so far. He is like extremely slow. There wasn't a whole lot of DCs. There were 2 cheaters, the Gohan Black and 1 Vegito that insta-DC'd. Now, he insta-DC'd in the exact same way as Gohan Black, which leads me to believe that he was a cheater. I'm not entirely sure. And there was also 1 guy that played Mr. Satan twice. So we got 2 Mr. Satans. Hell yeah. So our final toxicity breakdown is, yeah, surprisingly, only about 12% of the games were toxic, which 1 in 10 games, that's really not that bad. Now, if you include meta abuse as sort of like a straw that broke the camel's back, as like that extra health bar irks you to the point that you don't want to verse those people and it just completely pisses you off that they're in the same lobby as you, then you're looking at about 40%, which is not good. Genuinely wasn't that toxic. So I don't know what all these creators are talking about. It was kind of chill, to be honest with you. Now, maybe it was because I'm in the lower ranks, and once I advance into like the A's and the S's and the Z's, then it just becomes the most meta abuse, toxic, people spamming the same 3 strategies over and over again. That's a possibility. But for the general casual player, let's be honest here, is a random casual player playing 100 games of a ranked online game mode in this game? I'm not too sure. Like, to do 100 games, I think that was like maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours. I'm not too sure a casual player is pumping 6 hours into singles ranked. That's just my opinion, though. And just some interesting matchmaking information. So we did have a lot of duplicate character picks. Now, that could be because we had 20 of the same players. What does the same player account for? We do not count the first time I meet the player, only the second and any time beyond that. So, for example, Logie, I met that guy 4 frickin' times, and he beat me 4 frickin' times, probably because he's better than me. And it was honestly sickening. I have Goku's Z end etched into my brain now. And I will say, 1 in 5 games being the same player is a little bit crazy. Now, I will note, I was matchmaking at like 1 or 2 a.m., so maybe not that surprising that the player pool was not that big. But we did run into some cartoon characters. As you can see, we had Toot Noodle, Aunt Jemima, Your Mom Loves Me, Drink, formerly the Juice Box, and Racist.
Hello, monkeys!
Who, unsurprisingly, was one of our toxic players. I actually ended up versing him twice. And if we had an award for most toxic player that I went up against, it would probably be him. And our largest rank disparity, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. As you can see, B5, A1, I ended up going up against the C guy twice. First time I went up against him, he was A2. This is our final game. Get excited. I hope we ended on a good note. Here we go. Final guy. Let's see. Come on, let's be a good fight. A good fight. Ultimate Gohan. Okay.
Fight with honor. Fine.
Oh.
Let's do this.
Look. See, he's A1. Look, he's been ranking up. Probably because he's versing B5s. Why are you in my game, man? Like, legitimately, why is this guy anywhere remotely close to my game right now? He is A1. Is he about to be Z rank, or is there an S rank? Is he literally about to be one of the highest ranks in the game and I'm versing him? Why? That's not close to my rank. That's almost 2 full tiers away from my rank. That's not even remotely close to my rank. No wonder this guy is farming everybody. He's versing a bunch of scrub lords like me. Like, are you out of your damn mind? And then after that Gohan Black game, as you can see, my longest queue time, almost 6 minutes. Tragedy. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got from those games. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good one, and bye-bye.